Amatsuka Uto was a phenomena in the indie VTubing industry. From a VTuber who only primarily just made song covers, all of which are now privated, to a VTuber who only used a static image, and then finally, to a VTuber who exploded out of nowhere. Her growth rate was unprecedented for an indie VTuber. There are lots to learn from her if you're an indie VTuber looking to debut soon. But now you might have noticed that I've added quotation marks every time I say indie. Well, there's a good reason for that. What if I told you that Amatsuka Uto has a dark past? What if I told you that back then, Amatsuka Uto wasn't the angel that we know her today? I can't tell you the exact details, nor can I tell you her old name. However, I will leave you a tidbit of forbidden knowledge, which is on the screen right now. I'm just going to tell you her situation. See, Amatsuka Uto was facing difficult times after a volatile and heated falling out with her peers. People weren't exactly happy with her. Hostile words were exchanged, and unsay-so-like actions were done. She effectively had to stop being a YouTuber for a while to turn a new leaf. Wanting to start anew, she created a new channel back in April of 2020, where she would upload song covers. She eventually branched back out to streaming while using the static image right here, which served as a draft to her current successful avatar. And then, early in December 14, 2020, she would finally debut. She had a pretty modest debut stream, totaling a couple hundred live viewers. It was pretty good for the standard numbers one would expect from an indie VTuber. In the following weeks, however, she just randomly exploded. She went up from having 30k subscribers in early December to 300k in January. There were Reddit posts after Reddit posts that talked about her debut, Twitter then started talking, and then Facebook. They were all hooked by one element and aspect of her character, and that element was the fact that she looked like Amelia Watson. As I've stated in my previous video about the impact of character design, it's very important to be strategic and smart about how your character avatar looks. They have to be unique and appealing. The fact that she had the same artist as Amelia Watson was the hook that drew in viewers, but what really made them stay was her personality. See, Uto was very charming. It fit very well with her angel-like theme, and since she blew up on foreign social media, her audience were primarily foreigners too, and her attempts to learn English just to connect with them prompted more people to like her. With her unprecedented growth, it only seemed like good things were going for Amatsuka Uto.
We love you too.
At the turn of January, at the height of her explosive growth, she stopped streaming suddenly for several weeks. Her fans were starting to miss her, curious over her whereabouts, and then suddenly, an artist and a longtime fan in Twitter, Chi, dropped a tweet expressing his frustrations against Amatsuka Uto. The tweet claimed that she failed to adequately compensate him for commissions done in the past, to which she apologized and offered to pay him again. Now, I'm not going to talk about this drama because it's already resolved. However, I'm oversimplifying this because this wasn't actually the major reason as to why she took a break. Although the issue was spread all over forums, social media, and various threads, this was actually not that important. People were wasting their time trying to attack and defend Uto or talk about the situation at hand, and I understand why. With this drama being the only content anyone could have gotten from Uto for a couple weeks, people were hungry for her content. Japanese people hated her, foreign fans defended her, but blah blah blah, that didn't matter. What did matter, however, was Uto's mention of a company that used to own her. And this mention of a company was what I'd associate as the real reason for her break. See, the reason I've added quotation marks every time I say indie was because all this time Uto was never an indie VTuber in the first place. At least, not when she was getting famous. See, from the very beginning, probably back when she was still using a static image, a black company, presumably Chinese, contacted Uto and offered to take her under their wing. In fact, it's not far-fetched to say that it was this black company that paid for her avatar. However, this company's greatest contribution to Uto was not the avatar, but her channel's meta tags. To understand why this is important, I'm gonna have to explain to you first how meta tags work. Meta tags work by associating a channel or video to a keyword or topic. The meta tags of a YouTube channel or video can be everywhere, from the hashtags, the thumbnail, the titles, descriptions, and links. Basically, meta tags are important to have the YouTube algorithm promote you to certain audiences. This is the scummy thing that this company did. In Uto's YouTube channel, the company added a shit ton of HoloLive meta tags. They even encouraged Uto to talk a lot about HoloLive and more specifically, Amelia Watson to leech off of their success. People try to debunk the meta tagging incident in the past, but unfortunately it's true. Her letter was a confirmation and admission of guilt, so as much as you want to deny it, it's unfortunately true. This was a major reason why her channel was exploding too. Because HoloLive meta tags were embedded in her channel, a HoloLive fan is almost guaranteed to see her. She'd pop up on the recommended and ultimately draw in more fans. The one important condition that Uto was never to do whilst in this company is never to talk about them and pretend that she was still an indie VTuber, a condition that Uto agreed to. It worked like a charm for a while until Uto finally refused. Some weeks later, Uto posted a letter explaining everything, citing that they were negotiating and disputing for Uto's characters and rights. Ultimately though, Uto was able to free herself from the black company and still retain the rights to her character. Even still, there are those that are skeptical that she actually left. We don't have enough proof that she actually did leave, because 3D streams, song covers, song creations, and those kinds of events are very expensive as we all know, and it's hard to believe that she used her own money to pay for them. Even an indie of her size can't possibly save for that much money in such a short time span. Then again, Pony Canyon is producing her first album, so maybe it was them that financed her 3D stream too. Ultimately, we have nothing but her word, and whether or not you believe it is up to you. However, for the sake of this video, let's assume that she did in fact leave. Curiously enough, Lele, another indie VTuber, posted a similar letter talking about the shadow company and also explaining her grievances, although her letter didn't state that she left, meaning she's still part of it. I did some digging and also found out that she used HoloLive meta tags in her titles and thumbnail, and she was apparently told to cause fake drama and act lewd on social media to draw in fans, which ultimately backfired. People didn't like her precisely because of her absurd lewding and fake drama and the entire HoloLive meta tag leeching, which implies that she might have been in the same black company. Where this black company is, its name, and how many indie VTubers are under its belt, I don't know. There's strong evidence that it could be from China, which I'm inclined to agree because I've seen various Chinese companies use the same scummy practices. If it's not from China, I have good reason to believe it's from Southeast Asia. The fact that Lele and Uto aren't opening their mouths about these two suggests that they were forced to sign a confidentiality contract for them to be able to leave. After this entire thing was revealed to the public, the reactions were varied. Many supported Uto and was just relieved that she was free from the shackles of the company, but many were also mad at her, and for understandable reasons honestly. Uto keeping the fact that she wasn't actually an indie VTuber was a slap to the face to indie VTubers who were struggling. It was dishonest of her, manipulative even, that she'd have this kind of facade to the community and her fans. She lost a lot of people. She lost fans, she lost VTubers who previously respected her, and it was truly a rough time. Japanese people hated her because of the whole artist incident, other VTubers were wary of her after learning of her past, and even among her supportive fans, there was unrest and uneasiness. But like many stories in the industry, perseverance is a necessity to survive. When everything was out there, her flaws and mistakes exposed, her past finally catching up to her, Uto had nothing left to hide and nothing left to lose. Uto picked herself up and started to stream again, with a joyful reception. After the whole ordeal, she and her fans were just glad to be seeing each other again. Although her growth rate slowed immensely due to her removing the HoloLive meta tags and taking a break, it was a fair price to pay for her to be actually genuine. Other VTubers eventually started to like her again and started collabing with her. Her mama debuted a few months later, and even Amelia Watson finally acknowledged her. This was the time where Uto finally and truly became an indie VTuber. She's happy of where she is today. happier than where she was 1 year and 2 years ago. Uto was a flawed lady. She did some fucked up things in the past. She made slimy decisions that definitely aren't fitting for an angel, and she made very terrible mistakes. But I, for one, think she's paid for them. Uto's story is a roller coaster of rage, despair, desperation, hope, betrayal, and redemption. Although some people may not see it that way because they may be unable to forgive her of her transgressions, it's undeniable that Uto has grown not just as a VTuber, but also as a person. Thank you for watching this video. Drop a like, leave a comment if you think I've missed something, and then maybe watch some of my other videos. Please subscribe too. I plan to do more of these in the future.